The incoherence of atheist contingent infinite regress. Atheist claim. It is impossible to have something which is not contingent on anything else. The atheist claim requires that everything in existence must rely on something else for its being, meaning that there cannot be anything that exists independently or necessarily. This idea is rooted in the concept of contingency, which holds that the existence of things depends on external causes or conditions. However, this claim fails the test of logic, and it overlooks the logical and rational reasoning for a necessary being, something that exists in and of itself, without any dependence on anything else. This video aims to demonstrate why the claim is false by exploring the concept of necessary existence, the distinction between contingent and necessary beings, and the implications for metaphysics and theology. 1. Understanding contingency and necessity. To begin, it is essential to define what we mean by contingent and necessary beings. Contingent beings are those that depend on something else for their existence. They could have failed to exist, and their existence is the result of certain conditions or causes. For example, a tree is contingent because it depends on factors like soil, water, sunlight, and a seed to exist. If any of these factors were absent, the tree would not exist. Necessary beings are those that exist independently of any external cause or condition. A necessary being exists by its very nature and cannot fail to exist. Its existence is not contingent on anything else, and it does not come into being or cease to be, it simply is. The atheist claim in question asserts that it is impossible for anything to be a necessary being, implying that everything must be contingent. This assertion, however, is not logically sound and fails to consider the philosophical and theological reasoning for the existence of a necessary being. 2. The concept of a necessary being. One of the most well-known arguments for the existence of a necessary being is the cosmological argument, particularly in its form known as the argument from contingency. This argument, which has been developed by philosophers such as Aristotle and Thomas Aquinas, posits that the existence of contingent beings ultimately leads to the necessity of a non-contingent, necessary being. The argument can be summarized as follows. A. Everything that exists either has a reason for its existence within itself or outside itself, i.e., it is either necessary or contingent. B. Contingent beings require an external cause or reason for their existence. Since contingent beings exist, their existence must be explained by something else. C. If every being were contingent, then there would be an infinite regress of causes, with no ultimate explanation for why anything exists. This infinite regress is metaphysically problematic because it fails to provide a sufficient reason for existence. D. To avoid an infinite regress, there must be a necessary being, a being that exists by its own nature and does not depend on anything else for its existence. This necessary being provides the ultimate explanation for the existence of all contingent beings. The necessary being is identified with God in classical theism, but the concept can also be understood in a more abstract metaphysical sense as the foundation or ground of all existence. This necessary being is self-sufficient, eternal, and independent, making it non-contingent. Additional reasoning, discussed in other videos, establishes that this necessary being is an intelligent mind with volition and causal power. 3. The impossibility of an infinite regress. A key reason the atheist claim in question is false lies in the problem of infinite regress. If everything were contingent, there would need to be an endless chain of causes or reasons for existence. However, this leads to a situation where no ultimate explanation is provided. Each contingent being would require another contingent being to explain its existence, ad infinitum. The problem with infinite regress is that it never reaches a point of ultimate explanation or cause. It simply pushes the question of existence further back without ever providing a satisfying answer. Philosophically, this is failure because it violates the principle of sufficient reason, the idea that everything must have a reason or cause for its existence. By contrast, a necessary being provides a terminus to the chain of causation. It exists necessarily and does not require a cause outside itself. Thus, it can serve as the ultimate ground for the existence of everything else, ending the regress and satisfying the principle of sufficient reason. 4. Philosophical and theological implications. The existence of a necessary being has profound implications for both philosophy and theology. In philosophy, it challenges the view that everything is contingent and shows that there is an underlying reality that is self-sufficient and foundational. This necessary being is the ultimate cause, the ground of being, and the sustaining cause of even the laws of logic and mathematics. In theology, the necessary being is identified with God, a being who exists by necessity, without cause, and who is the ultimate creator and sustainer of all that exists. Classical theism posits that God is not contingent, God's existence is not dependent on anything else, and God does not come into being or go out of existence. God simply is, eternally and unchangeably. This understanding of God as a necessary being is central to Christianity, and it provides a strong counter-argument to the claim that it is impossible for anything to exist without being contingent on something else. 5. Addressing common objections. Some might object to the concept of a necessary being on the grounds that it seems difficult to comprehend or that it introduces unnecessary complexity. However, the idea of necessity is not more complex than the concept of contingency itself. If we accept the existence of contingent beings, it is philosophically consistent to explore the necessity of a necessary being as well. Conclusion. The claim that it is impossible to have something which is not contingent on anything else is both logically and philosophically untenable. The existence of a necessary being is not only logically required, but also provides a compelling explanation for the existence of contingent beings and the universe itself. By avoiding the problem of infinite regress and satisfying the principle of sufficient reason, the concept of a necessary being offers a rational foundation for understanding the nature of existence. Whether understood in a metaphysical or theological context, the idea of a necessary being challenges the notion that everything must be contingent and opens the door to a deeper exploration of the ultimate causes of reality. Therefore, the claim that it is impossible to have something that is not contingent on anything else is false, as both philosophy and theology provide strong arguments for the existence of such a necessary being. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts.